It used to be possible for people to be kept in a condition of relative ignorance. And religion has always thrived on ignorance. Once we democratize knowledge, once it becomes just about impossible to maintain the so-called innocence of the flock, people start moving away from religion. The evangelicals in the United States are desperately worried that their children are not going to be evangelicals when they grow up.
But if ignorance is wiped out, why do people like yourself and Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris engage in this battle where you use a lot of energy and time on writing books like this and addressing, religion as a big threat?
Well, because in the desperate machinations of religion, especially in the United States, really dangerous things are happening. I don't think I have to remind you about this. We have a president of the United States right now who says when he has to make a tough decision, God tells him what to do. Well, God's been giving him some pretty bad advice of late, and he doesn't take the advice of people who are secular and who know what they're talking about. He, in fact, ignores that because he has an uncanny overconfidence. It's that outrageous sense of, I know the truth because my religion tells me the truth. That's one of the most dangerous attitudes in the world. And when it gets into power, it can be very dangerous.
So you are addressing the fundamentals, right?
Yes.
Fundamentalistic Islam and
Christianity? There's fundamentalists, I think, in every religion are at least potentially very dangerous. Some of them much more so than others. Not just because people often then get the idea that it is not a sin to commit violence in the furtherance of the aim of your religion, and sometimes even it's a duty to be violent, but also because it's a duty to close your mind. It's a duty not to understand some things. When we start honoring not just ignorance, but deliberate ignorance, I think that's very dangerous.
But you do see religion coexisting, not with ignorance, but with knowledge. You have modernity, at least in the Western European sense, where you have people who have a very, as I said before, relaxed approach to religion, and they respect the natural historical evidence of how old the world is and how the universe
that's
might be
nothing
created.
toxic about that at all. That's fine.
But if you look at religion on an individual level, how can science ever comfort us in our suffering? Don't religion have a big meaning for the individual?
I think you're putting your finger on one of the most important aspects of religion that we have to look at. But we have to look at both sides, and that is many people are not, shall we say, naturally blessed with love, with companionship, with belonging to a big family and being esteemed and admired and having a circle of affectionate friends. For people like that, a church can be just a wonderful, wonderful thing. It can give them love. It can give them solace and protection and a place where they belong. And I think that's a tremendous benefit to those individuals.
But you do attack those people, don't you? By saying we need to break the two spells.
No, I don't.
It's a parasite in your brain. In a way, you are brainwashed.
No. First of all, I say again and again in the book, I don't know whether we should break the second spell. We should break the first spell. We have to break the first spell to see whether to break the second spell. And at the end of the book, I am still completely agnostic and open-minded about, I say, until we know, until we do the addition. And we haven't begun to do that because tradition has simply let religions claim they take credit for all the good stuff and they excuse themselves for all the bad stuff, and we never get to add it up. Now, maybe we can provide an alternative a non-religious, non-irrational alternative to religion, which can provide the solace and comfort that people crave. Look, let me be silly about this for a minute. For many Americans who might otherwise be devout members of church, they have found a substitute which they just love. They're Boston Red Sox fans, or they're Dallas Cowboy fans, and that's their life.
Secular religions in a way.
Yeah, but you see, of course, it's...
But no supernatural... Well,
yes,
some supernatural heroes.
Yes, but with almost no exceptions. You don't get, New York Yankees fans who want to kill... They say kill the umpire, but they don't mean it. But you do certainly get religious people who want to kill the opposition.
How will you describe the clash between the brights and the supers, as you call them, in the U.S.? What is at stake in these years?
First of all, let me just say what those terms are, brights and supers. I didn't coin them, neither did Richard Dawkins, but we both wrote about brights. Some clever high school teachers in California decided that atheists in America were so hidden. What they really needed was to copy the gays, to copy homosexuals, come out of the closet. And they decided we needed a new word for atheist or agnostic or naturalist or humanist. And those are terms, free thinker. We have a whole lot of words, but they thought it would be good to have one term which covered everybody. Right. And they came up with the idea we should call ourselves brights. And a lot of people howled, and they said, this is a terrible thing. It's very arrogant. What, the word gay isn't arrogant? Of course it is. Does it suggest that people who aren't gay are glum or sad? Well, the opposite of gay is straight.
Yeah.
Both nice words. Straight.
We are running out of time,
gay.
Dan, so I have to let you explain the word supers.
So supers. I point out that those who don't like the term bright because they're religious, they can come up with their own name. They don't have to be the dims or the dulls. They can be, I suggest, the supers, because they believe in the supernatural. And we brights don't. So now we have the brights and the supers.
And
two
the clash,
nice terms.
You see a clash?
Doesn't have to be, any more than there has to be a clash between straights and gays. Just two different kinds of people.
The French philosopher Voltaire said, if God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him.
Yep.
Won't there always be a place for God in the heart of human beings? Some kind of God, some kind of supernatural.
Well, maybe,
concept.
we've invented other things that we've since decided were sort of mistakes. We invented the ether, and then we decided that the ether was not such a good idea.
But do you predict a future where God will go extinct? The concept of God?
It could.
It could, but
sure.
Do you think it will?
I don't know, and I don't know whether it would be a good thing if it did. Actually, I think much more likely, and we've seen this already, is that the concept of God won't go extinct. It will just evolve so much that it will no longer be recognizable. After all, are there dinosaurs today? Oh yeah, they're flying in every tree. They wake us up in the morning. Birds are the descendants of dinosaurs. And the religions of the future will be the descendants of today's religions, and they'll probably be as different as birds are from dinosaurs. Not necessarily better, just very different.
Daniel C. Dennett, thank you so much for joining the program.
Thank you, Jess.
Dan, som jeg godt må kalde ham, sammenligner både religion med parasitter og også med dinosaurer, der er uddøde. Men alligevel fastholder han altså, at religion er en OK størrelse, måske. Breaking the Spell er ikke oversat til dansk, men det skal den nogenlunde engelskkyndige ikke lade sig skræmme af. Dennes bog er nemlig skrevet i et ligefremt sprog, så langt de fleste kan være med. Husk at se tidligere udsendelser via anden sektions hjemmeside. På gensyn i næste uge.